What's up, everyone? Eli here, back for another video, as I tend to say. We're listening to Godrim, British traditional or epic doom metal. Bunch of it's like a super group, bunch of British dudes from I don't know, I don't remember. Maybe some dudes from My Dying Bride or something like that. Dudes that I knew really well, but now I can't remember. I don't own this thing yet. I don't even know if it's out yet. I'm just listening to it online because I had planned on just reading about it months ago. I'd really planned on getting it. This is actually my first listen, so we can listen together. Got a collection update today as I have continued to buy more shit. This is going to be kind of a mixed media update. Some really random stuff that I just kind of found out in the wild. We'll start with vinyl. Got a couple records here. This one, honestly, I had never heard of until I stumbled upon it. Got Marc Edwards, Code of Honor. This is an old Metal Blade release from 1985. I had been familiar with some of this dude's work, but really, I didn't even know who he was, to be honest. So it's cool. It's a good record, and it's got the old Metal Blade logo we all like. Who was Marc Edwards? Marc Edwards is a drummer from L.A. He was in some bands, a couple of bands in the early 80s. He was in Steeler. He plays on the first Steeler album. Plays drums on everything, by the way. He's also in a band called Third Stage Alert, which were an old Metal Blade album. Yeah, most of you might know them for having a song on like Metal Blade or Metal Massacre 2 or 3. They were okay. They never really went anywhere. They had like one EP and just, went away. Sorry. He was also in a band called Lion, kind of a glam / heavy metal band, which I'm not familiar with at all. And he was in Riot for a while. He plays tracks. He plays on a couple of the Feather Steel tracks, so that's cool. He's a good drummer, and this is an instrumental album. He's playing drums, like I've said like 5 times. Tim Bogert plays on this, plays bass. With some other guys you might know. Bill Leisgang on guitar and Claude Schnell on keyboards. All kind of session dudes that have played in various projects over the years, mostly in the 80s. Next is one that I probably will never listen to this, but I just saw it and I was like, I fucking have to get it. I'm not really a big fan of the movie, but I am a big fan of Richard Pryor. And any fan of Richard Pryor, if they see this out in the wild, they're gonna fucking buy it. So yeah, Superman 3 soundtrack. Had to get it. Won't ever listen to it. Here's another one that I had never heard of, and just upon seeing this, I totally thought it was one of these new kind of retro heavy metal bands out of maybe the US or even Sweden or something like that. And you'll agree with me when you see this, unless you've already heard of it. The band is called Picture. Eternal Dark. This is from like 85 or 87. This is a Dutch heavy metal band. I'm trying to figure out. This is came out on Black Door. Don't know much about it, but anyways, yeah. Band is called Picture. They're from the Netherlands. They had a good couple records out in the 80s. I think they're actually still around. Haven't listened to it yet. I've just kind of read some random reviews. A lot of people seem to think their first couple albums were pretty good, and then this one is just kind of okay. But come on, you saw that out, you'd probably buy it too, and who knows, maybe I'll fucking like it. Yeah. So got a couple CDs as well on the same day. I got the new album from The Crown, Cobra Speed Venom. I heard one track from this thing, and I thought it was pretty fucking killer, which is awesome because their last album, if anyone has heard it, it was a pile of fucking shit. I've always liked The Crown, but that album was a fucking failure and a half. I don't even know what the story was. But anyway, heard one song, thought it was a ripper. Got me excited to, hear something return to form or whatever. So Cobra Speed Venom on Metal Blade. Stoked to hear it. I also got this. I wasn't planning on buying this album at all. I do like the band, but I've gotten really tired of them over the last couple years, and that is new Septic Flesh, Codex Omega. They are signed now to Prosthetic. I don't know when that happens. But yeah, You know, they're still doing that art, which is cool at times. And I'm not a big fan of, you know, I'm not super fond of the style. Moonspell is doing it too. I think the same artist. You know what I mean? I mean, it's cool at the same time, but I just prefer old school painted artwork. I will always prefer that. It's a multi-panel digipack. Motherfucker. Here we go. Got a bonus disc with like orchestral versions of some of the songs. I'll probably never listen to that. But I heard this is a good fucking album, so that's why I bought it. I do like the band. Just like I said, I've gotten tired of them over the years. Now we got some DVDs. Picked this up on Blu-ray because I didn't know this had a DVD release yet, so I was pretty cool. I was pretty stoked when I saw it. God, I cannot talk. This just came out last year, I guess, so that's why I didn't notice. Hadn't heard of it yet. I watched this on YouTube years ago, like I said before, it had an official release, so thought it was pretty good, and yeah, I was really excited to find it. We got the Poughkeepsie tapes. It's got a Blu-ray copy and a DVD copy in there. Here's the back. A lot of you guys, if you're horror fans, you might know this one. If not, you might want to look into it. It's pretty cool. It's a found footage style movie, but for this movie, it works really well and it feels very organic and real. It is about a serial killer in the 90s in upstate New York. I'll just read the back for you instead of giving my half-assed description. All right, throughout the 90s, a serial killer terrorized upstate New York. After a decade-long crime spree conducted largely under the radar of law enforcement, the killer left behind the most disturbing collection of evidence homicide detectives had ever seen. Hundreds of homemade videotapes that chronicled the stalking, abduction, murder, and disposal of those victims. The Poughkeepsie tapes examines these horrific tapes at length, what they reveal about the killer, why they were made, and how FBI profilers have used them to better understand violent, psychotic behavior. The Poughkeepsie tapes combines interviews surrounding the devastating impact of the Water Street Butcher with shocking footage from the tapes themselves. So yeah, it's a cool movie, man. It's very dark, very, pretty fucked up, as you would expect from a good horror movie. Next, we have a movie I've heard of for years, had never seen it. I still haven't seen it, but my buddy had been telling me to get it for a long time, but it's kind of a hard to find one, at least in my experiences. A Boy and His Dog, a rather kinky tale of survival. I never knew what that meant until I read the back. But anyway, my buddy, I've always been super into post-apocalyptic stuff since I was a kid, watching Mad Max. And when I was a teenager, when the first couple Fallout games came out, I've just always been obsessed with that shit. So my buddy told me to get it. I'd been looking for it for a while, and I finally got it. Like I said, it's a post-apocalyptic movie. I don't know. I only know what I've been told and what I've read on the back. Fucking Don Johnson is in this, which is kind of cool. And yeah, can't wait to watch it. Up my alley, apparently. Here's one that I don't think I've ever owned this, but I've seen it a couple times. Louis, go. And it's fucking awesome. Love this movie. We got Bubba Hotep with Bruce Campbell and directed by Don Coscarelli. Jesus Christ, how do I even describe this movie? If you haven't seen it, Bruce Campbell plays a man who lives in a retirement home and swears that he is Elvis Presley. It's pretty cool. And there's another dude in that same retirement home who claims that he's John F. Kennedy. So, dude, it's a Don Coscarelli movie. That's all you need to know. Go watch it. If you like Bruce Campbell, if you like Don Coscarelli, I mean, that movie was made for you. Here's a movie this movie fucking rules. I owned it once, loaned it to a friend a couple years back. She moved, lost it, and I just hadn't replaced it until now. Yeah, Cube. Really fucking cool movie. Low budget movie. A really good example of kind of like Poughkeepsie tapes of how to make a great movie with a low budget. It's about these people who wake up and find themselves trapped in this structure, and they have to get out. It's basically like a murderous maze type thing. It's pretty fucking awesome. Next, we only have one more. This is a fairly short video, which I'm totally okay with. I don't know, kind of tired. This movie I had heard of. I had never seen it, so I'm glad that I got a copy. We have Prince of Darkness by John Carpenter. Got this cool metal tin edition, which is limited to, like 25 million copies or something. So I'm really glad to be one of those 25 million people. Pretty cool packaging. I mean, really, they really don't give you anything besides this metal box, which the metal box is cool, but you open it up and it's just like, you got Alice Cooper right there, he's in the movie. But yeah, there's no booklet or anything, but it's a cool movie. I'm glad I bought it, I'm glad I watched it. I had never seen it before. I don't really want to talk about it because I'm just tired. It's a John Carpenter movie, so any horror fans out there probably know about it, but if you don't, go give it a watch, man. This is a good 80s horror movie. I mean, yeah, I totally kind of went into it with really low expectations, and I really liked it. It's not his best work, but it's not his worst either. It's a very worthy movie. It's a worthy movie of watching. It's worthy of owning, at least I thought, and I'll be watching it again. So, that's it. I still have 2 pretty good stacks of CDs that I bought over the last couple months, and I just keep failing to show them. I kind of want to grab a stack and just do it now, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna tap out and go play some Far Cry 5, and probably get drunk or something. It's my day off, and I'm just fucking tired. So, anyways, yeah, that's all I got for now. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing or whatever you feel like doing. Thanks for stopping by. Louis says hello. He's over here. You just can't see him. And until then, we'll talk soon. Cheers.